man, we might have some Zamboni drivers' jobs opening up at the new Icemen Igloo.
Yes, the Icemen Igloo announced today. How about that? The Sportsplex has been purchased, if I have this right, by the Icemen. $18.5 million renovation over the next 18 months or so. Hey, this is great stuff. What a big day for you guys.
It was awesome. We announced it this morning, and thanks to our investors, thanks to the city of Jacksonville, and, this is something we have been talking about for a while, and we've had several iterations of the plan. But we knew that we needed to have control over our own ice rink, so that we could really work hard at promoting youth sports, especially youth hockey and figure skating. And now we have that. It's going to take about 10 to 12 months to do all the renovations we want to do. We're adding a second sheet of ice to it, and we're moving forward and really looking forward to just again further cementing the Icemen and the city of Jacksonville's and the partnership we have here. We're not going anywhere. People, when I first brought the team here, people said to me, "How long are you going to last?" And I'm like, we're going to be here forever, longer than me. And with the local ownership, with the new lease that we signed last summer with the city, and now making this kind of commitment, we're going to be here forever, guys.
That's awesome.
Bob OHRABLO, president of the Jacksonville Icemen. So you're going to still play down at the arena, but practice and build a youth sports vehicle, if you will, at the Sportsplex, which will become the Icemen Igloo. Do I have that correct?
Yeah, the games, the Icemen games will still be at the arena. We've got basically a 10-year lease on the arena, and then our Iceplex will be for practice, but it'll also be for the youth sports, and it'll be for family skating too. With two rinks instead of one, we're going to have a lot of room for a lot of different activities on the surfaces. We're also going to have an esports center in the building. We're going to have a nice sports bar and grill as well, and then the Icemen headquarters is moving there. The offices and stuff will be working out of the Igloo.
Bob, when you mentioned youth hockey, obviously growing up in Wisconsin, every town that was available to kids out there, and it made a big difference, obviously, in my life because I grew up playing it. I feel like in the sense, and maybe I'm not just versed enough, I feel like in Jacksonville, like there's been a giant need for a youth hockey program. I haven't really heard a lot about it. There's been some great hockey players that have come out of Jacksonville, but not like that program to kind of grow the youth up. Was that kind of your goal? Did you take a look at the landscape and say, hey, we got to improve on this youth hockey program and get people excited about it?
Yeah, it's really two goals there. One is getting players at a high level, ready to play college, ready to play ECHL, ready to play AHL, NHL. We've had one player in Jacksonville's history that has made it to the NHL, Brian Ferner.
Yep. Whose
career unfortunately was cut short with an injury, but he made it to the NHL. But it wasn't without a lot of sacrifice on the part of his parents, and that is, driving them to Tampa, driving them to Orlando. There's no reason why kids should not be able to play here in Jacksonville at a high level, and have to drive, 3, 4, 5 hours away. That's crazy. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is just to get kids who may not want to be, very competitive in terms of hockey, but want to play at a recreation basis. And we hear from those kids and those families all the time. They've been, my kid came to the game. How do I get them involved in playing? And again, with one ice sheet, the Jacks Ice people did the best they could, but there just wasn't enough time allocated to youth hockey, and that's what we're going to be working on. So we'll be working heavy on rec teams, on travel teams, maybe even a high school league, that kind of stuff to really ingrain hockey into the community.
Yeah, I think it's a big deal. Bob OHRABLO with us, president of Jacksonville Icemen. I mean, Andy Kaufman, obviously owner of the Icemen, along with minority owners like Tim Tebow and Miles Jack and others. This is a big step, because it's more than just where the Icemen live. It's obviously going to grow hockey in the area. Then you add a little restaurant type of thing to it as well. I remember one of the early conversations we had, Bob, a few years back when you guys came to town with the Icemen, and you mentioned Tampa. And when you guys did this and this announcement started to happen and you guys bought the arena, and I saw that, and then this announcement today, I could think of that conversation where there's a bit of a blueprint, and maybe in other places too. But here in the state of Florida, Tampa did a very good job of this, right? Trying to grow the roots of hockey in Florida. And that's what I relate this to, is what the Lightning have been able to do over there.
Yeah, I'd like to say this is a Bob OHRABLO creation, but it's not. Actually, the Dallas Stars started it several years back when they first moved from Minnesota to Dallas. Get kids playing. And the Tampa Bay Lightning have done an incredible job taking every other NHL team to task with the way they've grown youth hockey. And, we'll be involved with them. They've already reached out to us. They want to bring the NHL Learn to Play program here and really help us and work with us. So, it's the way to kids that have moved here from up north. They want to play hockey. Kids that live here and were born and raised here, they want to play hockey. This is going to give them that opportunity to do that, and we're going to be very, very aggressively seeking these kids, and then setting them up for success at whatever level they want to get to.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a good thing, and I bet you have people calling you left and right saying, hey, where can we go play hockey? I want my kid. He wants to play hockey. Where can we go play it? Well, here's the place now that you'll be able to do it on a consistent basis, and it will only grow. And one of the fastest growing cities in the country, by the way, that's full of young talent and people moving from all over the place into Jacksonville. Hey, last thing, I know you guys are trying to make a run here, trying to play good hockey. You're on the road a bit. How did Lizard Kings night go? Was that as successful as you hoped it would be?
That was incredible. I wish we had the 8,500 seats because we would have filled every one of them. I mean, not only that, but we had auctions. We auctioned the jerseys off for charity, and we had people auctioning from all over the country for those jerseys. So, that's something that we're going to make an annual event. I mean, we'll celebrate the history of hockey with the Lizard Kings here, and it was really cool. The Icemen went away for a night, and we became the Lizard Kings. So that was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Hey, Bob, this is really cool stuff. You guys had a vision years ago, and you're acting that vision out. Congratulations on today. By the way, the Icemen Igloo sounds cool. That's a great name.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. And, Austin, I keep offering you an opportunity to play for the Icemen, but, someday.
Hey, you know what, man? Let me go ahead and put up my skates back on for a couple weeks. Let me get my cardio back where it needs to be for playing hockey, and then we'll have a sit down and we'll talk about it.
Well, and my driving skills are fantastic with the Zamboni, so don't worry. I don't need any practice. Just hire me.
You know what, Brent? You talked about your driver's test. I will tell you that I grew up in Queens, in New York, and I failed my first driver's test. I cut off a city bus, I guess, while I was making a turn. And I still, to this day, do not remember the bus. And my dad, who was with me and took me to the site, said, well, I saw you cut off that bus. and he said, probably the fact that you don't remember it is the first problem you have if you're driving. So it was another year. It was almost another year before I finally got my license. And I just made sure I watched out for the buses.
Can you imagine doing your driving test in New York?
Oh, that's insane.
I mean, that's
I can't imagine. But I guess if you do it in New York, you're versed everywhere else, so you feel comfortable.
We didn't do them in parking lots. We did them actually on the streets, and you didn't know when you left the car. You didn't know if you passed or failed. They'd send you a letter, like a week later. And I just remember that first one. I only had 4 points taken off, which you were allowed 20. I had 4 taken off, but it was grounds for immediate failure, dangerous move. There was red ink all over the paper and everything else. And I said, you know what? I don't need to drive. I'll take the subway and stuff. But about a year later, I went back and took it again and did very well. It was the second time. So.
The moral of the story there is don't cut off a bus on your driving test, and you'll be just fine.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob, congrats again.
My dad said, could you have a bigger target? You know?
No. Hey, keep moving after that target here in town. You guys are doing a great job. Jacksonville Icemen won't be home for a couple more weeks, but they've got a new home at the Sportsplex as well with the Icemen Igloo coming up a year or so down the road. Congrats on a big day, man.
Well, I want to thank you and you both for all your support, too. This is going to be awesome. We're going to have a great end to the season here. You know, we're still only halfway through the season, believe it or not. You know, our goal is to make the playoffs. We're making a nice run right now. And, you know, got this long road trip. And then we're back at home next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, against the dreaded Florida Everblades.
All right. We'll be ready for it. Have a good night. We appreciate you checking in, and drive safe.
Take care, guys.
Thanks,
Bye.
Bob.